You got Garfield. This guy has made his bones on the Sonetta platform. He does a lot of work with Sonetta. Something that had bothered me was I saw him going basically at ADOS. If y'all don't know what ADOS is a movement called American Descendants of Slavery, okay? And this movement is basically about reparations. At the bare bones of it, this movement represents reparations for African Americans that are descendants of slavery here in America. This is what the ADOS movement is all about, right? So I get on a call because I see Garfield going at Yvette Carnell, which is one of the founders of this movement. I see him going at Tone, which is another founder of one of this of the movement, right? And this is at the same time while I'm doing research on this movement. I don't claim to know everything. I spend a lot of time researching. I spend a lot of time trying to do the knowledge. I don't just jump up here and run with shit. You understand what I'm saying? So as I'm doing the research, I see Garfield talking a lot of crazy shit. And if it really bothered me for a African American, right, who I could consider myself a descendant of slavery, an American descendant of slavery, it bothered me because I'm like, look, here I am trying to do the knowledge, actually trying to do research, actually trying to figure out what this movement is about, and here I have Garfield, right, basically being extremely counterintuitive, right, basically going against the movement, basically trying to discourage me. Okay, and if y'all think I'm lying, I have the receipts. I'm going to present them to you now, and we're going to have a light conversation about ADOS, Garfield, you know what I'm saying, and what should we do about these type of what I would call detractors. Here are the receipts. Let's go.
Things that you had to say didn't seem in favor of Adolf. I was inquiring, like, what's your particular issue?
If you are telling people what they need to do to get reparations and you are actually not doing anything, that's a scam.
You can't come out and say it's a scam just because they haven't came with the particulars that you think that they should have met.
I'm not an ADOS. Yvette and Tone get on their program and bash congressmen because they have either a Caribbean background or they're not black enough. This is the problem. How are you bashing the people that you want to approve reparations? Nothing against any person who wants reparations.
Because it sounds like your issue might be when they come out and say American descendants of slavery, and this is just for us and people like you from the Caribbean. What you said is you can't ask people for reparations that's from the islands. That's what you said.
Redman, listen, I don't give a fuck if you get I don't give a fuck if you get
You're an American descendants of slaves by that blood, right? Just like all these other groups that get broke off, you'll do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. You can't talk down on that.
Stop, because you're ranting and you made up your mind.
Oh, man. Actually, I can tell when it started hurting.
You know what, Breadman? Have a good day, bro. Go do your shit. That's dumb.
Things that you had to say didn't seem in.
Dog, this, I'm telling y'all, bro. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't see what's going, if y'all don't recognize my skill yet, bro. If y'all don't recognize my skill, my nigga, and what I do, I don't give a fuck who you are. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes, my nigga, and I will get down to the foundation of what you're really about. I can break you down. I will expose your motives. I'm gonna play this back to y'all one more time so y'all don't think I'm tripping before I start banging on this nigga. Before I start banging on this nigga, I'm gonna play this shit one more time. This is Garfield talking about the American Descendants of Slavery movement and reparations. This is me, Breadman, challenging him on his disposition, on his attitude, on the information that he's trying to deliver. Pay attention.
things that you had to say didn't seem in favor of Adolf. I was inquiring, like, what's your particular issue?
If you are telling people what they need to do to get reparations and you are actually not doing anything, that's a scam.
You can't come out and say it's a scam just because they haven't came with the particulars that you think that they should have met.
I'm not an ADOS. I'm not an ADOS. Yvette and Tone get on their program and bash congressmen because they have either a Caribbean background or they're not black enough. This is the problem. How are you bashing the people that you want to approve reparations? Nothing against any person who wants reparations.
Because it sounds like your issue might be when they come out and say, American descendants of slavery, and this is just for us and people like you from the Caribbean. What you said is, you can't ask people for reparations that's from the islands. That's what you said.
Redman, listen, I don't give a fuck if you get I don't give a fuck if you get
You're an American descendant of slaves by that blood right. Just like all these other groups that get broke off, you'll do the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that, bro. You can't talk down on that.
Stop, because you're ranting and you made up your mind.
Oh, man. I can tell when it started hurting.
You know what, Breadman? Have a good day, bro. Go do your shit. That's
dumb.
Things that you had to say didn't seem in favor of that.
Body. Y'all know what I do. Niggas want to put the running shoes on. Now it's time to go. Niggas wanna put the running shoes on. You feel me? You feel me? When the conversation get real, niggas, it's time to go. You know what, Red Man? You know what? Blah, blah, blah. Have a good day, right? Right? But here you are, masquerading like you speaking for the black community. Garfield said, I don't give a fuck about reparations, but yet here you stand before the black community as if you have some kind of grandiose opinion or some educational right aspect that you're gonna give to me. But then when I call you and I challenge you, see, this is the same running theme tonight. Dr. Umar was on the same shit. When I challenge you and try to get a little bit of information, you get hot, you get tight, you get emotional, you gotta go. Okay? And the last words that you had to say was, I don't give a fuck. You said, I don't give a fuck about reparations, nigga. End of quote. End of quote. This is definitely worthy of a conversation because why would Garfield, a so-called pillar of the black community, why would Garfield say such a thing like, I don't give a fuck about reparations? Mr. A, I saw you with your hand up, so I'm gonna let you go in first. Go ahead, Mr. A.
So the reason why I have my hand up is twofold. First, Garfield is Caribbean. Now, what I would say is a lot of Caribbean people come to the States. Now, they play the division. They get that game. Some Caribbean people come to the States and they turn to African Americans. Some Caribbean people come here and they hold on to that identity. Citizen. So what? I'm still Jamaican. I'm still from Guyana. I'm still from Trinidad, Barbados, wherever. But I am still who I am. Right? Now, there's no difference, and I want you to understand this. There's no difference in somebody from the Caribbean and the people that come here when it comes to slavery. Because if you understand something, the slave trade started in the Caribbean.
Let's go. Talk to him, Mr. A.
Them boats, there's a Atlantic crossing that all these boats went off into, right? And the Caribbean was a huge part of that. Columbus landed in the Caribbean.
Okay.
He didn't land over here.
That's a fact.
He landed in the Caribbean.
That's a fact.
Right? And the Spaniards and the English and everybody was getting in on it. If you know history, Jamaica, they had huge plantations. And the slavery there was on some wicked shit. And for everybody that doesn't know and wants an easy way out to garner some understanding, go see Hidden Colors. Shit'll explain it, and it's fire.
That's one of the things that I've always kind of realized about us is that we have no true identity. we've been labeled so many different identities over the years since we were slaves to African Americans, to Negroes, to blacks, to all, you know what I'm saying? So for us, it's like it's not like we're lost to have no culture, because we are the culture of this country no matter what. But at the same time, as far as our stake in this country, we let, like you said, Mr. A, we let these people label us African Americans. Everybody can be considered African Americans to get these benefits. It's been going on for years. Every time we have a benefit or they pass a bill for us, it's pretty much meant for immigrants and anybody who can claim African descent or whatever is meant for us. But it's depending on how they wording.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
Stay right there, Charlie. Stay right there, because now you're bringing me. Because I can tell you, and Mr. A exposed it off top. Real niggas, real men know when they see it. You know what I'm saying? When you see somebody getting fragile, sometimes people, they expose their motives, and they can show their hand early, right? Sometimes people show their hand early, and so what's going on here with Garfield, right, is this one. I'm gonna fuck y'all head up. We got responsibility on Adolph's behalf, and we have responsibility on Garfield's behalf. I'm gonna get to Garfield's first. Garfield's responsibility comes from straight insecurity. He's insecure. He feels like, as a person from the Caribbeans, right, that American descendants of slavery, so I'm not in that. Y'all even made it a point, ADOS, y'all even making it a point to advertise and make it known that shit ain't for me. When I go to your channel, ADOS, when I look up your material, ADOS, 50% of your material is making the public aware that the reparations that y'all are talking about are not for the Caribbean, people from the Caribbean, are not for people like Kamala Harris, are not for Africans that came at this time, right? I'm not hating and I'm not knocking. These are facts. This is how y'all are running the operation. This is the information that's out there. So with that information, Garfield is having a knee-jerk reaction, which I still don't agree with, because if you have a solid foundation, that's not going to shake you. If you're really about the black community, that's not going to shake you. That's not going to make you go against the black community. It's going to make you check them. But then you come back and say you don't give a fuck if we get reparations or not. Well, reparations is important to me. Right? And it's been for so many years, as a African American descendant of slavery, African American here, whatever the fuck you want to call me, we've been on the forefront for so many other causes. The LBGT community, we set that off. The handicap civil rights, we set that off. Everybody get rights off the back of the black community. Let's just keep it funky. Everybody get rights off the backs of the black community. Let's just keep it funky. But then when somebody from the black community stand up and say, this is for us, this is for this group of people right here, you can't ride out for me, my nigga? But why? Because there's nothing in it for you? You've been exposed, Garfield. That's your problem. That's your problem, Garfield. That's where you hold responsibility, and that's where you've been exposed. Because now you're showing that you're not about the black community. You're about yourself. You don't speak for the black community. You speak for yourself. When the shit hits the fan or when it's on the fucking line, you're not going to be there to stand with the black community. Because what Mr. A is putting out there and what Charlie is trying to put y'all niggas on, right? Is at the end of the day, we're supposed to all be in this shit together. But it's divisions like this that hold us back. Now let me get to ADOS, and then I'm gonna come back to my panel. Now let me get to ADOS, and I'm gonna tell y'all what their responsibility is. You see, because I'm a real nigga. I'm an OG. I'm off the streets, bro. And so, just on some real shit, a code that I go by, I'm not ever counting your pocket, my nigga. I don't care if I'm up and I don't care if I'm down. It's not my responsibility to count your pockets, my nigga. So now I'm talking to ADOS. It wasn't for you to say, right, okay, we want reparations. This is what we want, boom, 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 this and that. But guess what? It's not for that person, this person, because they already got that. Now you count other people's pockets. Let them say what they want to say. You let people distract you off of your goal. So now you got all these other people coming out saying, oh, well, what about us? What about us? And so now you took it upon yourself, ADOS, to go after all these, the Caribbeans, go after all these, Kamala Harris, all these other people, and try to expose how they're not worthy of the reparations you are putting the work in trying to get, instead of just constantly putting in the work of trying to get your reparations. My nigga, that's not good politics. You gave people like Garfield, you gave multiple people alley hoops to come after you now. ADOS, you did that. Politically, that's incorrect. I would bow to you. That's an alley hoop. Because you had no business and you have no business. You understand what I'm saying? When somebody say, oh, well, what about this group? What about this group? You supposed to already know. Okay, so you trying to get me off of my note. We didn't work so hard to get the reparations on the forefront. Why would I spend any time trying to tell you how another group don't deserve? Fuck that. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm glad you brought them up. You see what I'm saying? It should mean nothing negative for you to bring up another group, because all these other groups have reparations.